As you all may have heard, the Super Bowl is this Sunday. And for New England's notoriously insular sports fans and the local media, it's not about which team you are rooting for. It all comes down to who you are rooting for or against. That, of course, would be the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Our ex-QB is going to the Super Bowl. A lot of mixed reaction on Twitter, on Facebook.
That's for sure. But the flurry of comments is really only focused on one thing. How could you support him? Or how could you not?
I wish he didn't leave.
I feel like I'm spying on an ex-boyfriend by watching his games.
He kind of runs the gamut down here with fans. Some of them love him. Some of them not so happy about him.
It's a theme that has fixated and polarized the media.
I don't like the Patriots. Right. I don't like the Bucs.
Right.
I've been won over by that guy.
Right.
WBZ pressed beyond fans, wanting to know if any of Brady's old teammates were on the fence.
You know, he brings a unique sense of belief to the locker room.
In other words, they are all behind him. Not faring so well in the popularity contest, Brady's former coach, Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and it can't be fun for Bill to pick up the Boston Herald and, Tom Brady Sr.'s telling Karen Gregan that Bill must be on a hot seat up there.
That's the Boston Globe's Dan Shaughnessy talking about this Herald article where Tom Brady Sr. speaks glowingly of Bob Kraft and brushes off Belichick as on the hot seat, which Dan believes he is. Meanwhile, in the scorekeeping department, Shaughnessy has it at Brady 1, Patriots 0. The rest of us, a bunch of losers. Kind of feels that way.
It does. Okay, John. I mean, this is a story everybody's talking about. I haven't done a sample around the country, but certainly New York, you've got ESPN, all the major sports guys. They're talking about Tom Brady. I mean, you hardly hear the term Kansas. I mean, it's not about, one team or the other. It's about one guy. Who are you rooting for? It's become just like a parlor game all week. I mean, I was kind of resisting it, but now I'm on board.
Well, it's not hard to understand. It is an amazing and compelling story. Tom Brady's a superb athlete. He had every right to go seek greener pastures elsewhere. And as far as I know, he's never been in trouble with the law. Having said that, I am not rooting for Tom Brady. The notion that you help a charity, in this case, the Best Buddies program, and you get the use of a luxury car year after year out of it, he should have taken a cue from the Kraft family, which manages to do a lot of philanthropy without ever asking for perks in exchange. And the whole TB12, the health system, nutrition system that he's hawking, there have been some sketchy moments with that thing, too. So this hero worship is a little bit gag-inducing for me.
Okay.
But so be it. It's a good angle. Go Chiefs.
I know where John stands on this. We're moving on. Next.
My opinion doesn't quite count like John's because I'm not a real Boston sports
Minnesota
fan. But I don't see how anyone.
Vikings aren't in it. No Minnesota team is ever worth mentioning. But if you're a Patriots fan, I could see this being a dilemma if it was the Patriots playing against Brady in the championship, but it isn't. And I don't see how anyone who has enjoyed watching him bring, multiple Super Bowls to New England couldn't want to see him do well in this game. Throw in the fact that he's a case study in how, men in their 40s can be very vigorous and dynamic and effective. I don't know what's not to like. That was a reference to myself, by the way. That came through.
I was driving down the street the other day, and they were talking about Brady, and then they were talking about Gronk. And for a split second, I thought that the Patriots were in the Super Bowl and perhaps, their coach was not part of the team this year for some reason. I mean, it's amazing how it really feels like an extension of the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I am not one of those, hero worship people for Tom Brady, but I think from the standpoint, and my wife and I went back and forth on this, she hopes that he loses. But I felt as if it is the storyline, right? That's what makes this so interesting. Here's this guy who at least some Patriots fans thought he had flamed out last year, too old, and now he has new life. Is he going to quit after this one, or is he going to keep going? I mean, there's so much that makes it an interesting story. Patrick Mahomes has a lifetime to get attention and so forth, so I like the story around it, even though I'm not doing the hero worship.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm deeply, deeply ambivalent about sports. I am in it to watch a good game. I don't particularly care who's playing. I'm not sure I could even name which teams are playing. I'm in it for the commercials. So all of the hype around, like, do you watch Tom Brady play or do you not? I really don't get it. If you like the sport, you watch someone who's good at the sport play the sport. So I don't get I feel like I'm watching an ex-boyfriend or a girlfriend and, I feel betrayed by him leaving. It's a sport. Just enjoy the game.
Oh no, I think you're a minority on this one. I mean, even if
probably
even if you don't follow sports, this one has really captured. It's a storyline. That's what I'm saying. It's seeped into news coverage. It's seeped into all the sports coverage, sports radio. I mean, everybody's just talking about that one storyline. It's all about
and that's
why
John,
I can understand.
I don't get it.
What?
I'm saying it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. I just don't get it.
It's the Brady storyline here especially, but it's also having Brady and Mahomes playing against each other because Mahomes, and I'm not the biggest football fan, period, but Mahomes is a pleasure to watch. Brady's amazing. So it's a great sort of one generation and another generation squaring off. There's a lot to like. I love the tweet from a guy who didn't want to root for Brady, who said, "The rats are always the first to leave a sinking ship." And I can't remember the rest of what he said because that one phrase was so great.
John, I'm getting you another minute to defend yourself here.
Yeah,
it's a storyline. Whether you support him or not, it's the storyline that's good.
I get it. Absolutely. It's a great storyline. And I would just say, look, we're Bostonians. We're New Englanders. We never just enjoy the game.
And by the way, Lylah, since Lylah wasn't sure who was in the Super Bowl, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And then
and the Patriots.
One team wears red. I don't,
and the other one has some red as well. Yeah, they have some red down there in Tampa.
Oh, good.
All right.